For years people have asked when are Takomo bringing some new clubs out. It's been 5 years since the start of Takomo, the start of their 101 irons and the 101 tees. But a lot of you have been asking, when are some new clubs coming out? Should I wait for some new Takomos? Are they coming out this year? Are they coming out next year? Are they bringing any out? Well, today we not only have one new club, we have two. And guys, if you're new to the channel, then welcome to this YouTube channel. If you want to join us on the journey to 50,000 or more subscribers, then make sure to hit that subscriber button. Guys, if you're a regular viewer of the channel, you will know today is the next 100 series, and we're talking about something new from Takomo. It has been over, well, nearly 5 years since they brought anything out in the iron department. And it's not like most brands. We know most brands, your TaylorMades, your Titleists, your Callaways, your Pings, bring clubs out either every year or every other year. But not Takomo. They've waited a while, but has the wait been worth it? I certainly think it has with the first few looks at these new clubs. But let's talk about them, because there's not just one option, there's two. And introducing the brand new Takomo Skyforger 002, so a second edition of those wedges, and it's certainly a big change. But let's get straight into that change. So for me, as you can see on the screen just then, a sleeker looking wedge, a better looking wedge, and one big thing for me was the looks of the Skyforger wedges down behind the golf ball. The original, the first edition, didn't sit great. It was around a leading edge. Performance wise, for me, performed well. We've done videos on that, testing it against Vokeys. Spin wise was still pretty good, but looks was something that a lot of people commented on. Get in those comments below, guys. If you're a Takomo user, do you have those wedges? But straight away here, behind the golf ball, they certainly look a lot better. Straight away there, 54 degree, which is also something you didn't expect. So in the second editions, we do have a lot more options, which you'll see on this side of the screen. And a 54 wasn't something they had before, and also different grinds. So we can see on here 54 degree, 10 degrees of bounce, and it is an F grind. So F grind straight away is for somebody who plays that leading edge a little bit squarer. We've got a thicker sole on that, so we can play shots more square. If you're somebody who doesn't like to open that club face up, that strikes fear into you, then we can go for the F grinds, which we'll go through shortly. The other option is a V grind, versatility, so you can open that up, you can close it. But for me, straight away here, that's the one there. That's a perfect example why you might have that wedge, because I've mishit that, I've caught the ground before, but it's still got a strike and it's still done pretty well. And this is where Takomo now have more options, but they also have full face grooves. So you can see there, a toey strike wasn't the best, but it still had the forgiveness. And even if you're somebody who hits it really close to that toe, we're still going to get a lot more consistency on flight and spin. But that's something we're all looking for around the edge of the green. A higher trajectory there, running out nicely. Not a bad start, but how do they compare to the previous generation? But let's compare these wedges now, and you'll see on screen the differences down behind the golf ball. The original Skyforger 001, we can see, was pretty good, was very rounded, and a lot of people commented saying they didn't like the look behind the golf ball. But has this 002, the second edition, been worth the wait? Straight away, looks a lot more sleeker. We know obviously the toe of the club, we can see we've still got some of that perimeter weighting up towards the top to help flight, but certainly not as big and as bulky as the first edition. But this is where it matters. We now have a new micro pattern in the grooves on the second edition, which is exactly what we would expect. If you're improving clubs, we want to see there is an improvement in the grooves to get maybe a lot more spin, a lot more control. And after all, yes, they've gone up slightly in price, so £102 for these wedges here in the UK. So they have increased around about £10 from the original, but if we're getting that performance, it's obviously worth about £10–15. Pops up nicely, running round exactly as we expect, and you'll see that wasn't a perfect strike. So towards the toe we can see the moisture on the face there, but we still got fantastic control. Although it needs cleaning, we can see that bottom groove does have some paint in there, and that is to help you align the club a little bit better. So behind the golf ball there's a white painted line on that bottom groove to help us to square that club up. Again, straight away now looking down at this club, it certainly looks a lot rounder and has come out a little bit hotter there, because interesting, a very consistent strike pattern towards the toe, but we certainly got a lot more forgiveness from those newer wedges. So far they look better, they feel better. I do like the full face grooves. We've got more options, so Takomo have done a fantastic job. And if you ask me, were the Skyforger wedges a good wedge to buy, I would have probably sent you towards maybe second hand, or maybe said hang on to see if some new wedges come out, because the first edition, they did perform well, they didn't look the best, and a lot of people did buy them and didn't get on with them. But I think these now, the Skyforger 002, have plenty of options to suit a lot of golfers, depending where you play and depending how you set up to shots. Do you have a square edge? Do you open it up? They've got you covered. But I've said obviously in the start of this video, there are two options. So there are also some Brian Bros additions to these wedges. So the BB 803s are another version of these wedges that are a limited edition. 3,000 sets, very similar. But when I get my hands on those, we will review those on the channel, but you can buy them online now. You can get the Skyforgers, they are live on the Takomo website. For the price now, I do think, like the irons for years, they have been great value. These will be great value, and they are going to perform pretty good compared to your premium brands, which we'll test in coming weeks. But I think it's going to be a big year for Takomo. I think there's rumours of more clubs coming out, potentially woods, potentially irons. Who knows? When will we know? Hopefully soon. Will we see them this year? Are you going to hang on and wait for them, or are you happy with your current set? Get in those comments below, guys. Do you have Takomos? If so, which ones? And if you were thinking about getting some new clubs, would you be thinking of a direct-to-consumer brand just like Takomo? And this is very much where these new wedges, the new options, can certainly help us, because we have more versatility, we have more options with loft. But normally from here, with the original Skyforgers off a tight lie here, we're certainly burning out here in the UK, we start to get the club bouncing. We might not get the strike, we might not be able to control that ball flight, and it didn't make the wedges overall consistent. And after all, what are we all looking for? We're looking for irons that give us consistency, a driver that gives us consistency, so why not think about that in your wedges? I've certainly found so far, using these over the last couple of days, that you can hit shots just like that. A low penetrating shot loaded with spin, and that has gone the perfect distance. A good interaction with the turf, and that is with that squarer edge, so that is with an F grind. So we know we're going to play some of these pitch shots a little bit more square. We're not opening that club face. Still got a good interaction with the turf. We also were able to get that ball launching down a little bit. If I go back to the original Skyforger, I always found it very tough to get that ball launching lower. So the technology in these wedges has certainly improved. The launch, the spin, the looks, the feel. And that's a good strike, that's a great interaction with the turf, but you can just see how that wants to pop up. Not as much spin, it was harder to judge my distance control. So have Takomo done something better? Yes. Have they finally bought some new golf clubs out? Yes. Are they going to help you? Potentially. But again, affordable, premium. So where could you really go wrong with these clubs? A good price, premium looks, premium components, a good feel. Very interested to test these against the Vokeys. We all know Vokeys are the #1 wedge, and I'm sure a lot of you will be thinking the same. We'll put those head to head. We'll see what mid-handicap Dave thinks. But guys, if you're enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button. And also, what else are you looking forward to coming out this year? We'll see you soon.